Welcome back to the Press Box Friday edition. Ronnie K sitting here with some stars of the game of the NWBA, Trooper Johnson, as well as the executive director Todd and former head coach Frank. And we're just chatting about the NWA and what is it. And you described it in the break, Todd, as the greatest sport that nobody knows about. And I think that's true, but it's just a fantastic sport. And Frank, comment a little bit on the sport as a whole, and also on the divisions and how they lay out too.
Well, the division and formation was actually mandated by the athletes themselves. The greatest growth that we have seen is through local park and recreations and local school districts, where juniors at 6, 7, 8, 9 can be exposed to it with good quality wheelchair basketball equipment to be able to learn the game then. So by the time they get older, they're already accomplished players, just like able-bodied kids are. The exciting division here, we have several junior divisions. Half of them are in the prep, which is more of a developmental league. But when you get into the upper echelon of junior division, it's like watching state high school basketball. That's the level of play. These kids are 16, 17, 18. They got to maintain grade point averages to qualify. There's scholarships, student-athlete scholarships for them. And they're aspiring to go on to college and play or to get involved in some of these community teams. At the upper end, we have a championship division, which is our highest level. It's probably comparable to a Division I of the NCAA. And they play a high-level competition. And then there's a Division II. And those are more, it's exactly like Division II basketball or Division III basketball in the NCAA. The women's division is an open division. The women are far ahead of the men in terms of developing over the years. They have about a 25-year history, and watching their game is just unbelievable.
Trooper's nodding his head over here.
Well, I mean, yeah, Trooper.
In agreement.
It's to the point where you're going to get that Bobby Riggs syndrome, where he wants to get 5 guys his age and play against the women's championship. They would struggle. The women are playing, and it's a very high level of basketball. The basket's 10 feet. The lines are the same, shoot the same length for free throws, passing. And as a coach, once you teach the fundamental skills of mobility having to do with the wheelchair, then the strategies of pick and rolling, man-to-man defense, pressing, switching, trapping, all those concepts in able-bodied ball are very prevalent in wheelchair basketball.
Yeah.
Even when the three-point shot came along, people say, oh, it's too far. And maybe the first people shot. But if anybody sees Trooper's stroke, it's a ting of beauty.
Yeah.
And it's a very efficient, and there's a lot of players. You don't see these juniors chuck up three-pointers, and just get in a chair sometime and try to shoot a free throw. They're very highly skilled basketball players, and Todd's doing a great job with this basketball festival, where the people that we don't have as fans can come in and see the kids play, the high school all-stars play, and Division I, Division II level people play, and get a perspective, on the game. And it's it's tremendous. We have vendors over there selling athletic wheelchairs, just like Nike and Reebok would be there selling shoes to them. They're over there. Kids, some of the players are trying to get sponsorship with the wheelchair companies, just like they get the Nike sponsorship.
Yeah.
The basketball dynamic is just amazing, and we invite people who have the day off tomorrow to come on down to Crown Center. It's you can come on in, and they got vending machines, they got a refreshment stand, they got great basketball, and you get to see Bill Hanslick there too.
Well, there you go.
And it's come on down.
Totally free event. And it's welled out fantastic. Like you said, I mean, you walk in and you could see kids, and then on the next court, I think you guys have 5 courts. Is that correct? And, I mean, there's adults playing, and then there's a women's side. And so you've got, the best of all worlds. And but let's talk a little bit about the women's game, because, I was watching a game yesterday, and my goodness, it's intense. And there is a Lady Nuggets team right now that is making waves in the NWBA.
Denver Lady Nuggets went through pool play undefeated. They're the #1 seed, and they're playing in a national semifinal this afternoon at 5:15.
Really?
So, right now we have a Denver area team that could bring home a national championship trophy.
It's fantastic, fantastic. It's the press box on GoMileHigh.com. 720-258-8488 is the phone number if you want to talk to any of these guys. Next segment, I'm thinking if we could get to know you guys on a basis maybe more personal. Trooper, we'll talk to you a lot, but really quick, if there's anything else you want to,
I got some Trooper stories next segment we can talk about.
Trooper stories.
I can't wait to hear these.
And you guys have gone to multiple tournaments all over the world. I mean, I think you were talking about one in Sydney back in 2000. Is that correct?
Yeah, the Paralympics is the Parallel Olympics for wheelchair athletes, and we've been starting with Seoul. We've been going to 3 weeks after the Olympics are over. We've been going and competing at the same venues. The same place. I coached the gold medal team in 1988. One of my favorite stories, it's the court that John Thompson lost on, one of our first times we lost. And Trooper has been to Barcelona in 92, been to Atlanta in 96. Him and I were together in 98 at the World Championships in Australia, and then again in Sydney in 2000. And we've had some fantastic experience, fantastic games. But we have a U.S. development program. We haven't won the gold medal since 1988, and we've won a few world championships. We need to get back up there. And right now, there are plans working with Todd and the Paralympic organization in Colorado Springs to make sure that we're developing players so we can regain our international championships.
A very decorated former head coach, Frank Burns, Todd Hatchfield, the executive director, and the Golden Boy, the logo and everything, Trooper Johnson, who's been a U.S. team member for 15 years. We're going to come back and talk to these guys a little bit more. I'm Ronnie K. It's the Press Box, GoMileHigh.com.